Hi, Tim. In today's session, we will be talking about repurposing and repositioning large retail schemes with a view to serving the local community needs and wishes. As you know, I'm an associate director in Osborne Clark's real estate and retail teams. And today, my guest is Tim Haddon, head of asset management at British Land. So Tim, what's your main focus at British Land?
Hi, Adam. And firstly, thanks very much for the opportunity to speak to you today. So at British Land, I take overall responsibility for our mixed-use scheme at Ealing Broadway and all of our standalone office and retail assets. So basically, everything which doesn't sit on an office campus or within a retail park or shopping centre sits under my control.
Great, thanks, Tim. And on that basis, should we kick off with Ealing Broadway? So how has Ealing Broadway changed over the last few years, and why have you felt the need to reposition this site?
Well, we originally bought Ealing Broadway back about 8 years ago now, and it's been hard hit by the opening of Westfield just down the road. But I think we saw the opportunity to invest into the centre on the back of some really strong fundamentals. So, we like the fact that it's a 10-acre site, so that gives us control and scale to be able to shape the area. And we've done it elsewhere, such as at Paddington Central more recently. And also enjoys really strong footfall with a loyal following from kind of an affluent residential population that surrounds it. So we saw the opportunity to tap into this more. And finally, there's a huge amount of investment in the area. So it's not just us trying to change the place, but it's also there's a lot of residential happening. And then of course, Crossrail, which I think will be a real game changer for Ealing. So I guess, over the period of ownership so far, we've tried to spend the time and money into upgrading the public realm and attracting some strong names such as Decathlon to make it, a shopping centre really focused on serving the needs of the local neighbourhood.
Yeah, that sounds really great. And you say about the public realm, a lot of what we've been seeing is how it's really key to any repurposing to identify what will work in and for the local community. So what do you see is what's next? Where do you see Ealing Broadway in, let's say, 2025?
Good question. Well, look, I think we've done quite a lot of work to try and focus on where we want to take Ealing. I think we'd like to really reposition it from more of this kind of traditional shopping centre, which we have right now, to a mixed-use campus. Yeah. So, I'd like to see it sitting alongside the likes of Paddington Central, Broadgate, Regent's Place, and in the future, Canada Water. And, I've talked a little bit about some of the key fundamentals, but I think Crossrail is a big thing for us. And we wanted to really take advantage of this in terms of probably building out a significant amount of office space. And I think this will sit well alongside the residential developments which are happening in the area. We've just taken and completed on a new office refurbishment and let that as a record rent for the area. So we're keen to build on this, and we've got two other exciting office developments which we're working up at the moment. And I guess alongside this, we're still looking to upgrade the retail centre with better retailers, introducing some leisure and investing into the public realm.
Yeah, great. That does sound really exciting and a great project to be on. Now, Ealing Broadway has always been retail driven, and I assume that won't fundamentally change. But what do you see sets Ealing Broadway apart from other retail areas to enable top retailers to thrive through these tough times? And also, just as landlord, are you having to invest more money into the retail areas to help draw customers?
Well, look, I think most shopping centres around the country need to diversify their offer to succeed going forwards.
Yeah.
We're quite lucky. We've got some really good anchors on site. We've got the likes of M&S, Tesco, Primark, Decathlon, and H&M. So we're looking to kind of build on the back of this with some more exciting brands to entice people in. And I think a really good example of this is the recent opening of the first Amazon Fresh store outside of North America at Ealing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You'll have seen there's been a huge amount of publicity and interest in this. So it's fantastic they chose Ealing as their first store in London.
Yeah.
And I think also keen to add new leisure uses in some of those larger retail units, both to kind of reduce the reliance on pure retail space, but also to add a different dynamic to the centre.
Mm.
And as well as some kind of sensible investment into the public realm in terms of those kind of key areas to kind of increase dwell time. We really think this will take the centre onto a new level. And I guess in tandem with this, if we can potentially attract maybe 5,000 new office workers within our new developments right on the doorstep, this will massively boost the type and the quality of operators we can attract. And people need a reason to come to the scheme, don't they? So, be it convenience, comparison, social interaction, or even experiential. It's that mix, I guess, we're really trying to create at Ealing.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Now, the next one is we've gone through this many times, but what more permanent changes do you see as a result of the pandemic? And also as a follow-up to that, we've seen landlords take very different stances and approaches to their tenants. So I suppose, what approach have you guys taken?
Yeah, well, I think to answer your first question, I think the retail sector was clearly evolving at pace before COVID. So those trends will just simply accelerate. I think internet sales were around kind of 18% before COVID. I think they've jumped to about 27% now. I think this online presence is going to stay. People got used to the benefits, but I think people do enjoy still going to the shops. They want to see and try what they're going to buy. They want to try it on and interact with people. And it's far more a pleasant environment rather than kind of just staring at a screen for hours, which we've all got used to more recently. So I think we need to make sure the environment and the quality of occupiers is there to then attract both the retailers and then the end consumer. And you've seen landlords working far more collaboratively with retailers, with kind of support over rents and service charge over COVID. And I really do think this partnership is going to continue as we move forwards.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think a partnership approach has been so important in so many different areas, and I expect companies will be judged on their actions during the pandemic in years to come, and whether that's in terms of treatment of their employees, their clients, or in your case, the tenants or customers, as I think we're meant to call them these days. So now just moving on to what you previously called the boring bit, legal trends, which is my area. What are you seeing in terms of retail lease provisions, and do you think these will be short-term trends or a permanent repurposing of the retail lease?
I'm sure I didn't call it boring, but I guess we've always been really supportive, as in terms of working in partnership with our customers. We believe in the quality of our assets and we'll continue to invest into them. So we're optimistic that retailers will benefit from this, and we'll have to kind of share in that upside. A lot of retailers are definitely looking for more flexible lease terms, without a doubt. Some want pure turnover, some want an element of this. But there are still some retailers out there who are happy to take a more traditional lease. And in terms of turnover leases, I guess we're pretty comfortable with this. We've been doing it for a long time. They do come with challenges. You'll be well aware of all these. They do need some really careful wording in the lease. So things like definition of turnover, how online sales are dealt with, what about if returns at a store, at least netted off, that level. So quite a few kind of complexities that you just need to kind of work through, with that retailer when you're doing the legal drafting. But overall, these changes, I think they're here to stay. It's really how we can develop that trust and build a relationship with retailers. So make sure we're open and can share data, two ways, but it's really in both our interests to make this succeed.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose I've got one final question to follow up on that. Like you, we see this flexible structure becoming absolutely ingrained in retail lettings of the now and in the future. Do you think office leases will follow suit?
Well, I think they probably already have. Flexibility has been a big topic for office customers for a long time now, and you just need to look at the growth of the serviced office operators to see this. At British Land, we've developed our own concept called Story a few years ago now. So we're able to cater for short-term leases with flexibility to grow. So you can take a 12-month lease, or you can take up to a 15 or a 20-year lease, or you can actually take a combination of these for larger businesses across multiple leases.
Okay.
So, I think it's really important as businesses evolve and grow, they're able to expand and contract their lease liability whilst working in partnership with landlords over the long term. And I think that's a big piece for us, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. And thank you so much for joining me, Tim. And I really look forward with excitement to seeing the continued repositioning of Ealing Broadway and the general upgrades to BL's incredible portfolio.
Absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
Thanks, Alan.